Beverly Hills Chihuahua movie argument turns into a Shakespearean drama which ends with wife leaving house and refusing to answer cell phone. Alright, so I posted a similar version to this story on r/ammeetasshole, but I figured after some of the responses I got it was more suited for an advice subreddit. People/location in this story: me, 48M, my wife/Eva, 51F, our daughter/Camille, 13F, United States. Camille enters the family room to find a movie to watch. Eva hears Camille rummaging through the movie basket and storms out of the bathroom. She then proceeds to scream at Camille, screaming that she had the movies organized. It escalates, with my wife screaming that she had planned on putting the Christmas tree up but couldn't now that the movies were in the way. My daughter gets irritated and screams back, saying that she was tired of Eva overreacting over the smallest things. Since Eva is a stay-at-home mom, Camille screamed that she needed a break from Eva's poor treatment of her. After coming inside after yard work, I hear them arguing and I ask what is going on. Camille explains the situation after my wife turned her back on both of us and refused to explain. I sided with my daughter, with me stating that starting an argument over a movie was unacceptable behavior from an adult. Now, my wife has left the house and refuses to answer her cell phone. I am confused on how to proceed. I have no idea where my wife went and my daughter is crying. How should I proceed with this situation? Should I hope that she comes back? We have had arguments before, but this has never gotten so out of hand that she has left with no trace. Your wife is upset because things she wants are getting disrupted by your daughter. Your wife wants the movie basket organized, but your daughter disorganized them. Your wife wants to put up the Christmas tree, but she can't now because the mess your daughter made is in the way. Your daughter is upset because her actions that cause very minor inconveniences are eliciting a far more explosive reaction from her mother than they rightfully should. You're treating the situation dismissively by claiming it to be about the movie Beverly Hills Chihuahua, which it's not. You're not recognizing the actual issue. Your whole damn family needs counseling. A rational adult would have just said, could you please pick up those movies so I can put the Christmas tree up? Parents are supposed to teach children how to treat other people. Freaking out over small stuff should never be the first move. Has it always been normal for your wife to overreact and scream at your daughter? Thank you. Reaching the same comments now. No one should be defending a woman who behaves this way. Screaming, refusing to speak, and then walking out and falling silent. That is grade A manipulative rubbish, creating further drama to make herself the victim when she is in fact the aggressor. How much must it hurt to be 13 and have a mother like this? Exclamation mark. I feel like there is some backstory we are missing. What is going on with your wife and child? What has their relationship been like before this? I don't know what you want us to say that the other sub didn't. This isn't a rational response from an adult. I'm alarmed by the people here defending the wife's behavior. This is so worrying to me. Cabin fever / needing a break. Neither even begins to explain responding to your child that way, and then storming out. Excuse me? Exclamation mark. It sounds like there are many aspects to what happened. Years and years of family dynamics. It's going to be impossible to get good advice from Reddit on this issue because you would need to write a novel-length post about everything that led up to that event. Talk to your wife. Talk to your daughter. Talk to a therapist maybe. Reddit isn't going to help you here. 18F roommate having sex with 15M boyfriend. The title pretty much sums up the whole scenario, but I'll give some more details. I'm concerned about my roommate having sex with her underage boyfriend. They dated when they were both in high school, senior and freshman, but broke up and got back together when a few weeks into this semester. I didn't know her before college, so I'm not sure what their relationship was like before then, but now it's giving me really weird vibes. He comes over every Tuesday, and she asks me to leave the room. I don't really mind doing this, as I have classes that day and I'm out and about anyway. We're at a university in the US, where the age of consent is 16. The problem has come up more recently. I've overheard some sexually explicit conversations they've had on the phone, such as him telling her that he's horny for Tuesday. Also, I think I walked in on them one morning because I forgot something I needed for class and went back to my room to get it. Most recently, she told me he was coming over tomorrow and asked me if I had a final. Said yes I did and told her it started at 3. She then told me that her boyfriend would get there at 9 that morning and asked me to leave the room by then, presumably so that she can have sex with her boyfriend. I explained to her that I was planning on studying, but she started acting weirded out, so I just told her that I can study elsewhere. The reason this whole thing weirds me out is the age difference, 18 and 15. I can't even drive yet, and it's illegal in my state, but they may be protected by the Romeo and Juliet clause. So my question for you all is, should I confront her? If so, how do I do it? Is what she is doing wrong? Do I report her? The semester is almost over. I'm not sure if it's worth having drama when we're going home next week. TL, Doctor, my 18F roommate asks me to leave room when her 15 meters boyfriend comes over, presumably to have sex. What should I do? Edit to add more details and new events. I've seen a few questions about whether or not their relationship is abusive, and I wouldn't call it abusive exactly, but I definitely wouldn't call it healthy. I once overheard my roommate tell him on the phone that if he broke up with her he wouldn't be able to get rid of her because she'd keep texting him and his friends and show up wherever he was. It kinda have me stalker vibes, but I tried to ignore it. But then, he came over today and I happened to be in the room when she came back from picking him up, and I'm sad to say it's worse than I imagined. Finally got to meet him and he seemed really sweet, but he definitely looked and acted young. Nothing wrong with that, just threw me off a little. I was packing my stuff, getting ready for my chem final, aced it BTW, when a friend of mine brought me some tea and she came in and talked to my roommate and her boyfriend while I was getting my stuff in my bag for the day. While they were talking, my friend asked why she had to go pick up her boyfriend and where she had to get him from, and she said that she picked him up from Walmart because he had to get groceries. Felt like this was a flat-out lie because they didn't have any bags with them. They also avoided my friend's questions about what year he was in a high school. He's a sophomore, and every time a question was asked, he looked over at my roommate, almost like a child would look at a parent. It kinda grossed me out. The whole time I was packing my stuff, my roommate was standing in front of her boyfriend, seemingly holding his dick in front of us. And then she kept asking if I was leaving. I left as quick as I could because I didn't want my friend or myself to witness what was about to happen. In my rush to get TF out of there, I left my tea in my room, so I had to turn around. When I got back to the door, I made sure to knock and make a lot of noise so I wouldn't be walking in on anything. They were standing by her bed, and he just told me that I forgot my tea very nicely. I was kinda hoping he was a jerk, but seeing as he's so obviously into her and so sweet and she's just not, makes me feel really bad for him. Thanks for all the feedback so far. It's been very insightful and definitely helped to calm my nerves, but I'm not sure what to do with this new development. I was on the fence before, but seeing them interact in person kinda solidified my fear of a power imbalance. How should I handle this moving forward? Age of consent is 16. She's having sex with a 15-year-old. That's illegal. You are right though, they might be protected, but still, gross. Talk to your counselor at school. They'll have a better idea what to do. And LOL to her acting weirded out when you wanted to stay and study. Bitch, please. Level of self-entitlement is exactly why she is dating a guy who doesn't know better. Forget the age difference of 3 years in these two children who initiated their relationship when they were both minors in the eyes of the law for a moment. Do you feel this boy is being abused and exploited by this woman? Or are you uncomfortable about listening to your roommate's explicit conversations? I think I would totally be. Being a roommate is really hard. Set boundaries about what moments you feel okay to share and what you want space from. Offer to take a walk when Boo comes over or sexy talk. Maybe request she not do sex talk while you're in the room. Why TF is she acting weirded out? Does she not realize she's banging a 15-year-old? Major creep vibes. Whilst I personally think the age gap is a bit ick, you're right in that they may be covered under the Romeo and Juliet clause, if your state has one. I agree with additional comments about talking to at the school/a trusted adult about your concerns. Either way, I would recommend talking to your roommate about her entitlement to your shared space. I can't believe she wanted you to study elsewhere when you had a final, or maybe see about switching roommates once the semester is over. I, 24F, am upset that my BF, 30M, gets much more pleasure out of sex than I do, and I'm tired of doing one-sided sexual acts for him. So long story short, sex isn't super amazing for me. Yes, I'm able to orgasm during sex, after a lot of work from both ends, but overall it's just not easy for me. I don't really like when he goes down on me, and while there are a few things that turn me on, there are a lot of things that turn me off. My BF, on the other hand, is incredibly sexual. Every aspect of my body turns him on, head to toe. Literally, he has a foot fetish. There's very few things I can think of that can actually turn him off, so he obviously enjoys sex a lot. All of this is fine, I enjoy how easily my BF gets turned on, but he frequently asks me to do more and more one-sided sexual acts for him. Like I said, I don't have a lot of things that really turn me on, so there's not a lot he can do to reciprocate. This sometimes makes me feel kind of jealous, like I'm doing all the things he enjoys so much while I only get one or two things that I like. There's been countless one-sided orgasms throughout our 2-year relationship, which isn't really his fault, but it makes me kind of jealous nonetheless. However, today he asked me if I could do a specific sexual act, to which I replied, haha, you really like when I do that, huh? And he responded, wait, you've done that before? I don't know why, but this really pissed me off. Like, I do all these one-sided sexual acts for you, the least you can do is remember me doing them. I ended up completely blowing up on him, which I know I was overreacting, but I just can't help feel so angry. He immediately apologized, but also reminded me that he's always done anything I've asked, and he has, but I just don't enjoy a lot, which is true. I guess it all boils down to I'm just jealous of how much he enjoys sex, and I'm tired of doing sexual acts for him when he can't reciprocate, even though it's not his fault. I know this is really shallow of me, but I don't know how to shake these feelings. Does anyone have any advice on how to move past this? Edit. Okay, I just want to clarify a few things. 1. I'm not trying to bash on my BF. My BF is the most amazing, wonderful person on this planet, and he tries very hard to make me happy, and he really does. This is just a lingering feeling that I've been struggling with, and I know it's stupid and unreasonable, and that's why I want help to banish those feelings. I should also clarify we're not in a huge fight, but I want to handle these feelings before it gets there. 2. I have experimented with toys and I found one that I like. 3. Yes, I have read Come As You Are, my BF and I actually read it together. That's how I know I have a lot of turn-offs and few turn-on, while my BF is the opposite. 4. Basically the only way I can have an orgasm is if I'm riding my BF while using a toy on myself and he's playing with my nipples. Yes, I know this is very specific and a lot of work, but honestly the only work my BF actually needs to do is play with my nipples. I do the rest. 5. Yes, we've experimented. It took us 1.5 years just to discover the method stated in number 4. Prior to that discovery, I very rarely had orgasms during sex, like maybe 5 to 10% of the time. Edit 2. 6. I'm honestly not looking for advice on how my BF can pleasure me better. It took us a really long time to get where we are now, and it's good. The issue that I have is that now that we've gotten to a state where I can have consistent orgasms, I feel like now he just wants me to do all these additional things to increase his pleasure, where I pretty much hit a ceiling and there's not much more that can be done for me, and I'm a little jealous of him. I don't want to feel this way. I'm looking for advice on how I can move past these feelings.